my gosh, wow, welcome back. Do things look a little different? Do I look a little brighter? Well, that's because I got a ring light today. Was it a little more expensive than I thought it was going to be? Well, yes. I needed the light because this was not doing me any favors. And it would make my videos like wavy. So this past Sunday, I had a bunch of like leftover quinoa that I had cooked earlier in the week. And I had cherry tomatoes, I had cucumbers and some red onion, and I was like, ooh, I could make like a salad type thing, right? I was like, that sounds really good. I had red wine vinegar, olive oil. I was like, let's do it. It sounds really good. And I made it, but I added some white beans so we can fiber max, because we've got, listen, colon cancer's on the rise, okay? I thought I would show you how to make this whatever salad you want to call it. It's really easy. It's so good. And really, the thing to do is like to let it sit and marinate. So I have all my ingredients here on the counter. Got white quinoa, red onion, red wine vinegar, some of that fancy olive oil that you've seen on TikTok, a English cucumber, cherub tomatoes, salt, pepper, the white kidney beans, and Italian seasoning, the works. And it's so easy to make, and I don't know, I just really liked it, thought I'd share it. Let's go ahead and start making this quinoa. All right, so first step, so I have this white quinoa, and the recipe, I just cook what it calls for because I'll be able to use it again during the week or whatever. So it says rinse quinoa for 30 seconds and drain. Add 1 cup of rinsed quinoa to 2 cups of water in a saucepan. Bring to a boil, reduce the heat to a slow simmer, and cook for 15 minutes. Simple enough. So, all right, so we got a cup. Now I'm just gonna rinse this over and over and over. And you don't have to use quinoa for this. I just had it. You could use lentils maybe, or pearl couscous. It's kind of like a take on a pasta salad, but just with no pasta. And see, you're gonna lose some of the quinoa. It's fine. As long as you don't dump the whole bowl in the sink, I think you're good. All right, so we've got that rinsed. I've got my 2 cups of water already ready. All right, here's the pot. How I do this is like I'll dump the quinoa in, and then I use the water that I'm gonna boil it with to like get all the rest out. Oh, well, turn the heat on high, and now we wait. Okay, so while we're waiting for the quinoa to cook, we're going to strain and rinse the beans, and we're gonna put them in the same bowl that we rinsed the quinoa in. I already cleaned it out, so don't worry. I already have some beans from the last recipe that I made. I'm gonna use the rest of these and then put them, whatever I don't use from this can, into that container. So here's the beans. They're just white beans. I'm just gonna dump them in that bowl. The quinoa's getting ready to boil. I had to turn on the fan because my stove, I need to clean it. Yummy. So I'm just gonna take this little strainer thingy that I have and just dump them out. Just rinse these off. Okay, quinoa's starting to boil. I'm gonna stir this and turn it down to a simmer. I don't want them to fall in the sink. Just gonna do this number right here. Boom. So we've got the beans that were left over from when I did this the other day. So I'm just gonna, this is all preference also with like how many beans you want. If you want beans, it's up to you. All right, so we got the cucumber and tomatoes. I've already washed them. Let's go ahead and start prepping these. Now I'm not gonna use the whole vegetable because I'll use I'll save half of it to take to work and eat as a snack. Now, I'm no professional. I did almost slice my thumb off 2 weeks ago. cutting a cucumber, or no, I don't even remember what I was cutting up. Anyway, here's my container. I'm gonna put half the cucumbers in to save. Okay, so what we're gonna do is slice this long ways, like that, and then put them down like that, and cut them into little half moons, or whatever you want to call them. Here's the cucumbers, looking good. All right, here's a quinoa update. So I'm gonna cut the heat and just let it sit and absorb the rest of that water. Because if you let it go too long, it will burn to the bottom, trust me. Now we have the little cherry tomatoes. I won't be using all of them. I'm gonna half them, maybe even quarter them. I'm gonna save the rest in this container to eat later as a snack or to cook breakfast with. Okay, now I feel like you'll be able to see what I'm doing. My bad. All right, we're just gonna quarter these. All right, and I think that this should be good. Oop. Okay, here we go. Now, okay, so the quinoa is off the heat. So now we got to slice up some red onion, kind of thin, like strips like this, but then I'm gonna go one more time and do that. And you add however much your heart desires. Okay, boom. All right, that's the base. All right, the quinoa is still cooling down. I've got 3 containers to use in case the salad doesn't fit in one container, and then another one will be for the leftover quinoa. All right, so here's the rest of the quinoa. So we're just gonna dump it in here. This is definitely a dish that needs to be eaten quickly, but I think once it sits for like at least a couple hours or a day, then it'll be really yummy. So we've got all that stuff that we're gonna put in here. So we've got some pink Himalayan salt, and I've got half a teaspoon that I'm gonna use. We've got some Italian seasoning. Doing makeup and cooking are kind of similar because it's like you can add more salt, but you can't take it away. So you have to start small. It's like adding, when you're doing a smoky eye, you can slowly add color, but you can't take color away. Does that make sense? So we're gonna do some olive oil. That was probably like maybe a little over a tablespoon. Then some red wine vinegar. Okay. Then we've got a peppercorn medley that is very nice. Now we're just gonna mix it. It's a really nice, colorful salad that has fiber, a lot of nutrients with some good flavor. Wow. Okay, so now we're gonna transfer this to these containers. All right, let's pack these up first. And these are old pickle containers. They make great storage containers. Okay, then this is the spare quinoa that I will eat at a later date. We're gonna put them in the fridge. I'm gonna let that sit at least for like 24 hours, and then they're portioned out, so I'll eat one container and then eat another. I'll take them to work and eat them. But again, definitely should eat them within 3 days. So, but I will eat them within 3 days. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll have the ingredients down in the description. Measure with your heart, but remember, you can add salt, but you cannot take it away. Same thing with the olive oil, same thing with the red wine vinegar, especially. Not too much salt, and it can be modified however you want. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna wash the rest of these dishes. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!